Okay, so let's look at this final proof. It's a conditional for the conclusion. So right away we want to think, let's just do a conditional proof. So that means we're going to start with the antecedent. And the result that we're looking for, or the goal, is right there. Okay, so that we have 4, we'll get T or U from 1 and 2 known as ponens. And okay, so we're kind of stuck here because we need a not T or we need a not U in order to break this wedge apart. And if we look up here, if we can get a not U, but we're going to need a W. And I don't see a W anywhere. So I don't think the conditional proof is going to work in this case. Okay, so let's just rework this and we'll start over. Okay. So the other option we have, if a conditional proof doesn't work, we'll have to go with an indirect. So this is how you do an indirect proof when it's something large like this. You're going to put a negation on the outside, you're going to put brackets, and then you're going to negate everything inside. So that's an AIP. Now our goal is, first of all, we need to break all of this down. And this is going to come in very handy in 7.7. So just pay attention to how to do this. So I'm just going to keep everything the same. And the first thing I want to deal with is that horseshoe, because I can't do De Morgan with that horseshoe there. So I'm going to do implication. So that will give me not S or, and then this side stays exactly the same. Okay. Now that I've done implication, now I can use De Morgan. So I'm going to end up with not S, switch the sign, and then you're going to end up with not W, and then everything inside the parentheses will stay the same. Okay. And now we have a dot, so we can break it apart. So we'll do 5 simplification. And we might as well just do our double negative. And then we'll also get the other side. So now we're going to have 5. We'll comment and we'll simplify it in one step. And now that I have a negation on the outside of the parentheses, that's a double negation. So we can drop those off. However, if it looked like this, that is not a double negation. Okay? In this case, you're going to have to do De Morgan, and you need to distribute it over. The only time it works as a double negation is when they're both on the outside. Okay, let's go back up here. So 10, we can get the W. We'll just do a simplification, and then 11, we'll do a simp and a com together. Okay, I want you to take note right here. I have not used any of the premises. All I have done here is taken the conclusion and I have broken it down. And you notice how many simplifications I have over here, and I had to do one De Morgan, and the only reason I could do the De Morgan is because the first step I did was I got rid of that horseshoe and I turned it into this wedge. And once it was a wedge, then I could do De Morgan. So all I've done here is break everything down so I could get my S by itself, W by itself, and then not T by itself. That is all I've done. So now that I have isolated all of these capital letters, now we can go back up and we'll look at our premises and see what we can do. Okay, so let's just start here. We'll do 7 and 1. So we can get that. And now we'll go ahead and do 2 and 10 to get not U. Okay, and we can already get our U by 11 and 12. ds, and we finally got there. So 13 and 14, we're going to conjunct. And now comes the fun part. So this is just one indirect proof, okay? And now when I discharge on 16, I'm going to do not, and copy everything down. And so that's going to be 3 through 15 indirect proof. And then I ran out of room, so I'm going to cheat here. I'm going to do 16 double negative, and on 17, it's all of that without that. Okay? So this method comes in very handy on 7.7, because you'll notice 7.7, it's just the conclusion. And you have to use indirect or conditional proofs in order to show that the conclusion is a tautology. And a tautology simply means it's self-evident. It is always true. Okay, so I hope this helps. And of course, if you get stuck, please email me. I am happy to help.